video we are going to see problems on LTI system properties. Last video we already discussed LTI system properties. So how to check LTI system properties, that problems we'll see now. So the first problem is, for each of the following impulse response, determine whether the corresponding system is memoryless, causal, unstable, and we are going to justify the answers. So now the first one is h of t is equal to u of t plus 1 minus u of t minus 1. So if I substitute t is equal to 0 here, h of 0 is equal to u of 1 minus u of minus 1. U of 1 is nothing but a future values, u of minus 1 is nothing but a past values. So the system output is depending upon the future and past. If any system is depending upon the future and past, means what it means? So it needs some memory. So it is not a memoryless system, not a memoryless system. So if any system is depending upon the future values, we can say it is a non-causal system. It is a non-causal system and it is a stable. So it is a stable system because u of 1 minus u of minus 1 is nothing but it is a stable system. We'll get some finite input, we got some finite outputs. That's why the system is a stable system. Next, the second one is h of t is equal to u of t minus 2 into u of t minus 1. So here h of 0 is equal to u of 0 minus 2 into u of minus 1. So the present input is depending upon the present output is depending upon the present input and the past input. So present and past is nothing but it needs the memory. So the past, it is not only depending upon only the present. If it is depending upon the present output is depending upon only the present input, then no need of the memory. So that case we can say it is a memoryless system, but it depending upon the past. So that's why it is not a memoryless system. So and it is not depending upon the future, so automatically it is the causal system and it is bounded input. It is not producing the finite output, so it is a non-stable system. Next example is h of t is equal to e power minus 2 into modulus of t. Here modulus of t is nothing but for the t value is minus, also it will come as a plus, and plus also it is come as a minus. So it is depending upon the future value. So the future values is nothing but it is not a memoryless system, it is not a causal system, but it is a stable system because we'll get it as all the finite output. Now the fourth example is h of t is equal to e power at into u of t. E power at into u of t, it is a memoryless system and it is a present input is depending upon only the present, so it is a causal system. But if you see the stability property, it is the stable only a is less than 0. Next, fifth example is h of n is equal to 2 power n into u of minus n. So u of minus n is nothing but it is depending upon the past values. So the past values is nothing but a memoryless system and it is a non-causal system and it is a stable system. Now h of 1, because why it is a non-causal means whenever we are going to calculate h of 1 h of minus 1, it is depending upon 2 power n into u of minus into minus, so u of 1. So whenever we are going to calculate h of minus 1, it is depending upon the future values. That is why it is a non-causal system, but it is a stable system. Now u of n minus 1, you can say u of, next example, u of n minus 1. U of n minus 1 is nothing but it is depending upon the past. So it is a memoryless system and it is not dependent future means causal. It is a non-stable system. So here it is a causal system. It is a memoryless and stable system. So we can check the examples like this. Next one is we can see the next example, multipath communication channel. So in the compensation of a compensation by means of an inverse system, consider designing a discrete time inverse system to eliminate the distortion associated with multipath propagation in a data transmission problem. So now for that we are going to recall the discrete time model for the two path communication channels, that is y of n is equal to x of n plus a into x of n minus 1. Now finding the causal inverse system that recovers x of n from y of n, and also we are going to check whether it is the inverse system is stable or not. For that, the first we identify the impulse response of the system relating y of n is y of n and x of n. So for that, we are going to apply the impulse input x of n is equal to impulse input x of n is equal to delta of n to obtain that impulse response. So now our h of n is equal to 1 for n is equal to 0. It is a for n is equal to 1. It is 0 otherwise. So as the impulse response of the multi-path channel, the inverse system is h inverse of n must satisfy. So that is nothing but a convolution of impulse h of n in convolution h inverse of n is equal to delta of n. So if I substitute, means substituting for h of n is equal to, we see that h inverse of n must satisfy the equation h inverse of n plus a into h inverse of n minus 1 should be delta of n. And then next one is h inverse of n of 0 plus a into h inverse of minus 1 should be 1. And same thing, h inverse of n plus a into h inverse of n minus 1 is 0. So if I take this one right hand side, minus a into h inverse of n minus 1. So here h inverse of 0 is equal to 1. It implies that h inverse of 1 is equal to minus a. So if I substitute 0, you will get it as a minus a. And h inverse of 2 is equal to a square. H inverse of 3 is equal to a cube. And h inverse of 4 is equal to a power minus a power 4 and so on. Hence the inverse system has the impulse response. We can say inverse system has the impulse response. Now these are the so here I'm going to we made it a table to find that impulse response properties of the impulse response in terms of the LTI system, that is memoryless, causal and stability, that for continuous time and discrete time. Continuous time means t, h of t. Continuous discrete time system means h of n. So now for some more problems we'll see. For each impulse response listed below, determine whether the corresponding system is memoryless, causal and stable system. So this is nothing but a memoryless system. This is the condition should for the continuous time, h of t is equal to c into delta of t. For the discrete time, h of n is equal to c into delta of k. Same thing for the causal, it should satisfy the condition h of t is equal to 0 for t is less than 0. In case of the discrete time, h of n is equal to 0 for h is less than 0. Sorry, n is less than 0. Stable if and only if integration minus infinity to plus infinity mod of h of t dt is less than infinity, or summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity mod of h of k is less than infinity. This is for the continuous time, this is for the discrete time. Now we'll see some problems. H of t is equal to cos of pi t. So cos of pi t is nothing but it is the continuous time, so it needs some memory. Here h of t is equal to cos of pi t. So here cos of pi t is nothing but a cos of minus theta, also will get it as a plus theta. So it is not a causal system, it is not a stable system, it is not a memoryless system. The second example, if you see h of t is equal to e power minus 2 u of minus t. If you see u of minus t is nothing but u of minus t. The present output is depending upon the past inputs. The past input is nothing but it has a memory. So that is nothing but a memory system. It is a causal system. It is a stable system. Next one is u plus 1. U plus 1 is nothing but a plus. Plus is nothing but the future values. So it has a memory system. It not a future, it is depending upon the future inputs, is not a causal system, it is not a stable system. Next, fourth example, h of t is equal to 3 into delta of t. See here, this example, this is the best example to satisfy all the LTI system properties, because present input is depending upon only the present output is depending upon only the present inputs. That's why it is a memoryless system, it is a causal system, it is a stable system. Next example is h of t is equal to cos pi t u of t. U of t is nothing but cos pi t. If it is only u of t is nothing but it is a memoryless system, but it is multiplied with cos pi t is nothing but it has a memory system. And it is a causal system because it is not depending upon any future values. If it is comes as a cos means it is a not stable system. Next, h of n is equal to minus 1 whole power n into u of minus 1. U of minus n is nothing but even if it is the minus u of minus 1, h of minus 1. So you will get it as a u of 1. So it is depending upon the future values. Future values is it has not a memory system, it has not a causal system, it is not a stable system. It is not, it is the best example, it is not satisfying all the properties of LTI system. Next one is h of n is equal to 1 by 2 whole power modulus of n. Here also modulus of n is nothing but it, even if it is the minus 1 also it will come as a plus 1. So it has a memory, it is not a causal system, it is a but it is a stable system because all the values would come as a positive. The finite output, finite input will get as a finite output. So the next example is u of n minus 10. U of n minus 10. So u of n minus 1 means only the past values. So it is has a memory, it is a causal system, it is a stable system. Even here also u of n minus u of n minus 1. So only the past value. So u of n minus 5 means present and past. So has a memory system, it is the causal and stable. Next one is sine. Sine function is nothing but it always it needs the memory. Has a memory, it is not a causal system, it is not a stable system. Next one here also summation p is equal to 1 to infinity delta of n minus 2p. It has a memory system, it is not a causal system because it is depending upon the future values. The finite input will not, we are not getting as a finite output, it is coming as a infinite output. So it is not a stable system. So I hope you understood. So like this we can find whether this LTI system properties. Thank you all.